So what they don't tell you is when you decide to start a family, it should be the happiest day of your life. But for women, you're kind of given a choice. Either you can have a career or you can have a family. And so what actually started was I was put to that choice. And that choice wasn't mine to make. It was society, right? We don't have enough childcare providers out there. So everything I looked at was waitlisted. And on top of that, the cost of childcare was the same amount of money I was making post-tax. So should I go back to work and not spend any time with my new child, and then as a result, also not be able to add to the family? I ended up having to leave my job, and that actually was a very big trigger because, as most women leaders, we are entrepreneurs. We are very much about being the top of our class, going to a great college, and also working super hard. And then having that taken away really powered me to say, hey, enough is enough. We gotta solve it now.
And so explain what happened when you sort of made this decision first to launch We Care, and then you sort of transitioned into the name Upwards that you have now.
Yeah, so when we first started We Care, we were really a marketplace that was about like helping families find care, and then starting home daycares. So it made sense, like We Care, like WEE, sounds great with little kids. And then post-COVID, we transitioned to the B2B and B2G space where we were actually working with employers and government entities, because guess what? If you actually want to solve childcare, you actually need to have employers and government involved in that equation. But when you were going to government entities and saying, we're We Care, it sort of didn't really match what we were doing. But when you think about the impact that we were making about solving care for good, Upwards started to make sense. If you solve childcare for families, you give them the opportunity to move upwards in society.
How do you convince employers that this is an opportunity for them? Offering childcare is an opportunity for them, and not a thing that would be a nice thing to do, but something that actually will help their business?
Yes, and actually, Secretary Raimondo said it best. Childcare is not a social issue, it's actually an economic issue. And employers have to be involved. There was actually a recent BCG study that came out that says that the ROI, and like guys like this, right? We have to talk about numbers, and they get numbers. But the ROI of childcare is actually 425%. Wow. So if a company provides childcare as a benefit, that there's a real return on that. And they also said that it only takes saving 1% of eligible employees from leaving their job, just 1%, to pay for the cost of childcare as a benefit for the whole total employee population.